Yeah, is there any questions moving forward?
Questions? Any questions?
What's your phone number? Just kidding.
We'll use that sparingly.
One question.
Aaron has it. She'll be the keeper of
Okay.
We'll only call you once a week.
Yeah. On Sundays.
You'll be on call on Sunday. FaceTime.
No, I mean, I'm hoping that now that you have control, all you're going to have to do is manipulate the inputs. Yes.
So we're about to get 50 to 60 more feet of this on both sides. Of this
The padding.
here, this padding. What are we gonna have to do to the board to make it sound like it's supposed to with all that extra padding there?
Well, what the padding's going to do is it's going to soak up the sound. So you may just have to overall turn things up a little bit. Or you may have to add reverb, because the more padding they come in here, the less live this room is going to be. As an audio mixer, I love a dead room, because then I can make the reverb sound really good and how I want it to. Our church, we meet in 3 locations. One of our locations is at a movie theater, and it's completely sound treated for Dolby 5.1 surround. So there's not a single echo in that room. The musicians hate it because they don't hear the music coming back at them, but I love it because I have total control. So the more you deaden this room, the more you might want to put some reverb back. So I created a reverb yesterday. Check 1, 2, and it is on bus 13. 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's an extreme amount of reverb. I would never use that much. I mean, that's a lot of showbiz. You know what I'm saying? So I would just dial this back. Like one guy that I worked for one time used to tell me, the moment you notice the reverb, it's probably too much. It's just to enhance. Like right now it's on, so check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Just a little more dead when I don't have it on. So here's with, here's without. So as you deaden the room, you may just want to dial up some reverb on your microphones. And pretty much for reverb, I just like a little bit of a tail. I used to call it my room expander. You know what I mean? Because the bigger the hall, the bigger the room, the more reverb you're going to get naturally. I did one show in Carnegie Hall one time, and the engineer there we were working on the board together, and I was doing a comedian, and he started talking. I was like, whoa, 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 man, you got to turn off the reverb. I don't need that much. And he's like, no, man, that's just the room. The room was built to have a lot of reverb because when it was built, they wanted to do all string concerts and orchestras and things of that nature. It wasn't built for, a comedian. But, the bigger the room, the taller the room, the more reverb you're going to get. So you can just widen the room a little bit, but, do it until it sounds good to you. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you can get in and EQ your reverb. I've got a high pass and a low pass filter on it because that metallic sound. So this is with my equalizer on. Check 1, 2. This is without. So you can see how it sounds really metallic and high end and not as warm sounding. I like a really warm reverb. And then here's with the EQ on. And I can go in, I've got my low pass filter at about 1000 hertz, and my high pass filter about 107. So it still sounds kind of metallic to me right now, like that could be my microphone EQ, or it could be the reverb. Sometimes there's a way to just hear the verb. I'll figure that out in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and take my low pass filter and move it down, and you should be able to hear how it's getting lower. So you may want something more like this for this room. And then again, here's no EQ. And this is with EQ. And this is with no verb. So you can play with verb a little bit. It's on Send 13. You can add it to any channel. I would leave the send for it, like the master section, all this stuff, you shouldn't need to mess with very often. You know, I would concentrate on input faders only and deal with your inputs, because we're going to set it to where all your outputs are going to be as loud as they'll ever need to be. So just leave them alone, unless there's a real issue. But again, we can have her, and if I don't want it at all on this channel, I'll just dial it down. Does anybody want to see how I just did that?
Yes, I do.
So, if you look at bus 1 through 8 and bus 9 through 16, bus 9 through 16, you can see that's effects 1. And I'll get some tape in here and label this.
Awesome.
But you can always look at the screen, because I'm going to make sure these screens are all correct. But bus 13, this is your main output section, so just leave it at unity, because that's plenty. And then if I select this, I select 13 to 16, that means 13, 14, 15, 16. I just start dialing 15, or 13, 1, 2, until you start to hear it. Check. 1, 2. So now I'm sending, the signal's coming in, I'm sending it to bus 13. Bus 13 comes here, and then goes to the main outs.
Got it.
And how the board is set up right now, all of these buses anyway, are routed to go to your main left right. If you want to be able to send verb to the monitors, which I don't recommend, it is possible to do that. I hate doing that because then you don't really have control and it just adds more junk on stage. These buses, bus 1 and 2, go directly to your monitors, and bus 3 goes directly to your subwoofer. They don't go to the main left right, which is how you had it before. Like you brought up main left and right, and it was bringing up your whole system.
Yeah.
You have this awesome board here, but you weren't even using it really. It was like you were taking a microphone and just sending it to everything. So we just separated it. So now bus 1 and 2, all right, so I'm here, I'm gonna take the reverb out, right? I'm gonna mute my mains, 1, 2, so you can't hear me in anything. If I wanted to talk to the band through the monitors, I'd pick 1 through 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 now. So now I'm going to bring this up. This is monitor number 1. Oh, yeah, sorry. Unmute them, of course. So then you bring up number 1, check, check. Now I'm in monitor number 1 over there on stage right. And then if you want to hear number 2, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Why isn't this working? Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. That's odd. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. See, I'm getting a meter there.
See, over here, you're not getting anything. It's just the one thing that's circling around. There's no volume increase. See?
Oh yeah, why is that? It says it's muted.
No, it's not. That is a lie.
Yeah.
Push that with an unmute.
Check, 1, 2.
There
Oh,
you
there
go.
it is. See, you're better at this than I am, Bruce. We're leaving you in good hands, Aaron. Check, 1, 2. So now I'm coming out of number 2, and then of course, why would you ever do this? But you want to send a vocal to the subs. 1, 2, 1, 2.
That's terrible.
Yeah, you don't need that. So,
Turn that one off.
you know, Erin's on stage being a diva like she does. She says she needs more of herself in the monitors. You'd select her microphone, and then you'd bring her up in the monitors.
Got it.
I don't know what 4 is, so we're going to get rid of that. Anything that you don't know what's going on, just get rid of, you know what I mean? Like, so, this is doing the same thing that other one was. So, yeah, I've got her going to some verb too. So, anytime anybody wants something in those stage wedges, you just select their input channel, dial them up.
And it's only 1 and 2 for the wedges.
That's right. And then the in-ears are all direct outs, like I was talking to before. The only way to control the volume sending to them is to bring up your preamp. But that's going to affect everything else you do along the chain. But there have been times at the journey when they've been like, I'm barely getting anything in my in-ear and I've got it cranked all the way to, plus 11. And I'll be like, okay, I'll compromise with you and I'll bring up my preamp and then turn the fader down. It's just, that's the whole idea of gain structure, is manipulating the signal so you're getting it enough where you want along the line. I like to leave all my faders at unity as much as I can, because when you got a good hot signal coming in that strong, you've got a lot of throw on the faders. I don't know if you've ever been on a board where if you barely touch it like that, everything dies completely. Like I have no throw on the fader. That's what that means. And to have a lot of throw, turn up your preamp, or turn it down, sorry. Right, ratio, you turn it down, you would have to push it more to get more. So if you got a good hot signal in, you just got to find out what you like. You know, you got to play with it a little bit. We'll just make it nice and hot now so that you'll hear a difference. The common theory is the normal human ear can hear a difference at 3 dB. So if I was to decrease something by 3 dB, your average listener would be able to tell.